Welcome back, you lovely people. What an amazing day it is. Sunny outside. Been working out with my brother in the garden, playing with the dogs, getting some sun. Just finished a 14-day liver cleanse, and I'm allowed to eat properly for the first time today. So very excited about that. And of course, the market's up. The crypto market is up. There's been some big news today from Visa, who've announced that they are fully in the crypto game. Before, they were partnering with, you may have seen Visa crypto.com cards. Everybody gets blasted with it on social media. But what they were actually doing was they were going through fiat currency. So if anybody used a crypto.com card, it would be swapped into fiat currency. Well, now Visa have an Ethereum wallet and they're settling transactions on the Ethereum blockchain. Really, really amazing news, particularly for Ethereum, but of course, crypto in general. And it paves the way for what's coming. Ethereum still has scaling issues, which means we're not quite there in terms of, you're not going to use your Visa card to buy a coffee yet and use your crypto, but there are solutions coming for that. And now Visa are fully in the crypto game, then that's what's coming next. And you're going to see sooner or later, and more so sooner, the switch, the adoption of Bitcoin and crypto as a payment method. Because before, well, that was the original white paper for Bitcoin, peer-to-peer transactions. But given how incredible it's been as a store of value, it became, the focus came to being a store of value because there's only 21 million that ever exist. That was built in, that's built into the system. It was meant to be a store of value. The payments have lagged a little bit because of scalability issues. That is now coming down the pipe, which means we are well on the way to adoption, mainstream adoption of Bitcoin and crypto becoming a recognized currency, the digital currency, as we've always said that that's going to happen. But these are just the dominoes and the steps that need to take place. So just incredibly bullish news. Welcome everybody, by the way. Whilst I'm chatting away, do put any questions in the comments on Instagram or on Zoom. On Zoom, you can also come live with me if you put your hand up. So what has the reaction to that been? Well, start with Ethereum. I've been telling everybody to be patient with Ethereum. Put out a few videos over the past couple of weeks saying be patient with Ethereum. And Ethereum is up 7.5% today, over $1,800. So that's amazing. Let me zoom out. So we're looking towards taking out the all-time high at just over $2,000. I would expect us to do that quite soon, and then it's blast off for Ethereum. Ethereum has been lagging, which means it's got this amazing news, and it's got a lot of stored up energy. Literally, as I'm speaking, it's going nearly 8% now. So well done to everybody that stayed patient with Ethereum. I expect you'll be rewarded for that. Chainlink is a similar story. Chainlink's up 7% today. Chainlink benefits from all of this stuff because it's integral to the whole crypto ecosystem. And again, Chainlink has lagged a bit, up 7% today, looking bullish. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, we have, where's my light? There it is. If you've been watching my videos on Bitcoin over the past week, we have managed this perfectly. Not to pat myself on the back too much, but I have to in this instance. Even some of I'd say my mentors or the people I watched were panicking a little bit here, and they were, uh, particularly what was going on in the wider market. They were talking about a bigger drop in Bitcoin, and I've said on multiple videos over the past few weeks that I didn't see it happening. This 18% dip that we've just had, that looks eerily similar to what happened in the last cycle, exactly this time, of about 15%. I feel like I was the only one to pick up on that. I haven't seen anybody else saying that. And that's what happened. I called the bottom at 18%, and I said, I expect that we'll bounce here, and we did. And now today we're breaking out of that bull flag that we've been watching. So we're up 3.5%, just under $58,000, and looks extraordinarily bullish. I expect us to take out the $62,000 all-time high soon, and then it's off to the races. Just looking down, Polkadot's up 7%. Everything up 5, 6, 7%. Let me see. Cardano's lagging 1%, and it wouldn't surprise me if Cardano generally lags. Could be wrong. Depends how strong the hype is, because there's no real fundamentals. So it's all about how many people get sucked in by, the Cardano hype or the Cardano cult. And if it does well, then great for people that hold it. And Sammy, Binance, yeah, worth looking at Binance. Binance is 2%, so lagging a bit, yeah, but it had a few strong days recently, so it's just below the all-time high. I do expect Binance to perform well over the next couple of weeks. So things look fantastic. Very, very happy to see it. And I just had one question just before we went online from Michael. He was just asking what the Visa news means. I think I explained it. Visa now have an Ethereum wallet. They can settle transactions on the blockchain. At the moment, they are using USDC. That's the Coinbase-backed stable coin. But it just paves the way for, full crypto adoption in some way, shape, or form. MasterCard have announced in the past couple of months that they're also getting in the game as well. PayPal are already in. Venmo, Cash App already in. PayPal UK is coming. PayPal Bitcoin UK, as in if you have a PayPal wallet in the UK, you'll be able to swap your pounds for Bitcoin. So that would be nice. Wouldn't recommend holding Bitcoin on PayPal. But because you can't take it out, you can only buy and sell within PayPal. But if you do have any funds on PayPal, then you might as well swap them into Bitcoin when it goes live. It's not live yet, at least I don't think. Okay. Let me have a look down these comments. I'll start with Sammy. How do you cleanse your liver? I did a 14-day liver cleanse, which meant very dry, similar to a dieter if you've done plant medicine, but no oil, no nuts, no seeds, no meat, no dairy, no grains, oats, alcohol. So pretty much a little bit of fruit, lots of raw vegetables, and some fish with lemon. That was about it. And that was 14 days. And then last night and this morning, that was finished off with 6 half pints of water with Epsom salt, which was disgusting, and also a half pint of grapefruit juice with olive oil. And that, I won't go into detail, but it cleaned everything out, and I'm feeling very, very good. Charlotte's on a cleanse as well. Amazing. Yeah, I think one of the great things to come out of this pandemic is that many people are focusing on becoming healthier, more rounded, which is awesome. I'm noticing Ethereum at 9% as we're talking. Sammy, $100 fees for $5 transaction on Visa. Yeah, I don't know exactly, but the fees are high on Ethereum. We know that. There are solutions coming imminently. So Optimism rollups are due to be launched, I believe, literally imminently. And that's a layer 2 solution. So it sits on top of Ethereum. And what it essentially means is it groups a bunch of transactions and then puts them through as one. So the fees get drastically, like 1/100th or 1/1000th of the fees if you use that layer 2 solution. There already are some solutions that are working on it as well, like Matic and XDAI. Ethereum have new improvement protocols going live in April and July, which may have some benefit as well. So a lot of people have been stressing about Ethereum, and I really wouldn't. It is the gold standard for application-based blockchains, for development on blockchains. All the developers choose to build on Ethereum for a reason, and that brings with it huge investment and the desire to innovate. Technology and innovation is unstoppable. And the smartest minds in the world, a lot of them work in crypto. So it's going to be fixed, and you wouldn't get a Visa and MasterCard. I don't know if MasterCard are going to use Ethereum, but you wouldn't get a Visa launching on Ethereum if they didn't know that solutions were coming. So I'm extremely bullish on Ethereum, and it's probably is it the most undervalued crypto at the moment? Probably. That and Chainlink, in my opinion. Okay, Alex, that's a long one. Been going down the rabbit hole. Stock to flow, cycle repeat. Stock to flow model deviation from actual price at the bottom. Wonder if the same data available for the cycle repeat graph. Alex, that is a lot. I'm struggling to pick it apart. Would you mind giving me a 1-sentence question whilst I go through the others? Apologies. Can't quite get my head around that right now. Charlotte, I've been checking with some other cryptos, reserve rights, anchored chilies. I like the sound of reserve rights. Reserve rights, I'm bullish on for one reason. It is I think it's the top downloaded app in Venezuela, or at least the top financial app in Venezuela. So it's obviously doing something right in a country that is devastated by inflation. Which countries are not going to be devastated by inflation very shortly? That's a great proof of use. So that makes me really bullish. And I would then, before buying it, I would do a bit more research. I don't know what blockchain it's on. I guess they have their own blockchain. And I don't know exactly how the tokenomics work, but as a starting point, there's a lot of green lights for me on reserve rights, even though I haven't researched it deeply. Anchor's similar because I believe it's the most used platform for Ethereum staking, from what I've seen. and that's massive. Somebody asked me to look at it the other day, and I looked at the chart. The chart looks ridiculous, right? It's just gone to the moon already. So when it has already gone up that much, you do need to be a little bit cautious. At that point, I would start looking at the coin market cap. Where is it on the table? I'm not quite sure. Is it number 50 in coin market cap? And then just look like what's above it and below it. And do you think if it is number 50, I'm not saying it is, could it become a top 20 crypto? And probably by what I've heard and seen, even though I haven't gone super deep on it. But maybe it is already 20. I'm not really sure. So that's how I'd approach that. Chili's, I know very little about. It's like some football clubs are using it. Looks fun, and don't really have any opinion on it because I've just seen it around. Your research there is, or you have to ask yourself is, do you think that they can continue to build incredible partnerships? I believe they do partner with Barcelona, which is fantastic. So do you think that they can continue to make those incredible partnerships? If so, looks positive. Out of those three, from what I know, I'll go reserve rights because I look for real fundamental use case. Chili's, is fun, but these fun things can quickly get overtaken by the next fun thing. If something has become deeply embedded in Venezuela, that sounds really good to me. There's many countries with that issue. You want to buy more Chainlink and Ethereum, but not sure whether now is to wait rather than going now it has increased. Yeah, I personally wouldn't wait at this stage because I believe the market is about to launch over the next 3 weeks, and you may miss it. So just remember, we've got that September time horizon. I am 99.9999% sure that Ethereum and Chainlink will be far higher in September than they are now. So even if you buy some and it goes down 20% over the next week, then you're looking at September. That's where I wouldn't try and time the market because we're not traders. Joshua, what does risk to the upside mean? It means there is a higher likelihood of us breaking our model or prediction to the upside rather than the downside. That's mostly when I use it. I know Jordan, he says it, if we're just consolidating, the other way to use it, if you're consolidating, it's really a way of saying, I think it's more likely to break to the upside rather than breaking to the downside. Cal, you're not selling it. I don't know what does that mean? I can't remember what I said that you're referring to. I'm not selling anything, no. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. Charlotte needs more Ethereum. Don't we all? Emma, which app was that? I assume that's when I was talking about PayPal. PayPal in the US, you can hold a Bitcoin. The only way you can do that is if you hold fiat, you can swap it into Bitcoin and then swap it back into fiat. So don't use PayPal as your primary wallet. But if you're like a sole trader and you use PayPal, it's a great way just to have your exposure in Bitcoin rather than fiat currency. Coming to the UK, it said, I think it was in February, they said a couple of months, so it should be coming ASAP. Alex, is there some sort of tracking of how the cycle repeat model is doing versus the actual price? Yes. Yes, because on the top left of the graph, you can go back in time, which is really useful and powerful. Let me know if you've already done that and that doesn't answer your question. But what I do is, every month, so we get to the 1st of April, have a look at it, put the date as the 1st of March, and you can see how if we've followed what it was talking about 1 month ago. And then you can do 1st of February, 1st of January, and you can see how the model is changing based on the price action. Sammy, let's say you received an envelope with 10,000 USD. Okay, are you sending me that? Is that my is that my donation? Assuming you decided to invest in crypto, what would you equally distribute it? Would you equally distribute it across your coins, or would you double down on any particular coins at the moment? Really good question. And I would double down on Ethereum and Chainlink. I think they're the two most undervalued crypto projects out there. Maybe I would put something small in a speculative asset. I like XRT, Robonomics. It's only on Uniswap. But I think it's going to get a Binance listing soon, which will give it a massive, massive pump. Polkadot project. Carlos. Question linked to the exit plans. Bitcoin forecasts are getting more and more bullish. Now, I told you that was going to happen, didn't I? And it's going to get even more bullish. That's where you need to be very careful, which makes me think the whole process is going to be very turbulent. Yeah, the next April, May, June, July, August, September, the next 6 months will be ridiculously volatile. There will be days, I would, based on the last cycle, there will be 1 or 2 occasions where Bitcoin goes down 30% in 2 days. Now, everybody was freaking out about 18% in a week. So it's going to get super volatile. That is our friend. I love what Michael Saylor says about volatility. All the news anchors try and put him down for investing in a really volatile asset. And he's like, look, I'd rather invest in a volatile asset that goes up 200% a year than something which does nothing. And he's right. So you have to embrace that. How will you safeguard your position? That's very simple. It's what we've been talking about in the course. We're looking for our indicators that we're at the cycle peak. And we are nowhere near at the moment. So if it goes down 30% tomorrow, no problem, because I'm looking at September. The forecasts are going to get more and more bullish. I saw one that's a reputable person talking about $1.2 million in this cycle. I don't believe that that's going to happen. But as we get up to, everybody's going to go mad at $100,000, 6 figures. And then what they're going to do at $200,000? Some people are going to start saying it's going to 2 million, 3 million. And it will be very easy to get distracted by that. Our advantage, which we've shown time and time again over the past year, is that we understand the cycle. While everybody's freaking out about it going down 30% or 18%, everybody's freaking out. The vast majority of the people I've been speaking to and coaching are just chilling and meditating and thinking about September, which is incredible. So we're safeguarding our position by having that strategy and preparation in place, and it's working. We're doing it. Don't get distracted by the noise. And as Alex says, yeah, you could absolutely just go on holiday now and then come back in August. For sure, you could do that. A better option though is to enjoy this process and enjoy the dips, because it's part of it. It's like life, isn't it? You know, it's not all going to be rainbows. You have to put up with the shit as well. And if you can learn to embrace it, then you're going to have a much better life. So how can we have a much better cycle? We embrace the volatility. Emma, what do we do with our investment when September comes? Definitely go watch the course, because there's a section called Cash Out Strategy. Simple answer is you can do whatever you want. What I'm showing you is how to identify where the cycle peak is or when it's approaching, so that we can implement a cash out strategy. I will be doing more content as we get a bit closer, which I'll send out to the email list. And what do you do with it? Well, you know, like I say in the course, you can remain in crypto, which is basically buying stable coins. Every time you sell something, you buy something. Every time you buy something, you sell something. So you sell your Bitcoin, what are you buying? You could just go out the way you came in, which is probably pounds, and put it back in your bank account. The downside is you deal with banks and you deal with inflation. You can remain in crypto and put it in stable coins. The downside is you deal with inflation, but you don't. The upside is you don't deal with banks. Or you could look for an investment that you think is going to hold its value over the next year, whilst we go through the Bitcoin bear market. And when I do the additional content, that will be a lot of the focus. I'm looking at Kinesis, which do gold and silver backed crypto. There's also Pax Gold that do gold crypto. I believe that's a very, very good option. And I will be looking at other options as well. You know, there are crypto backed stocks or index funds and all sorts. So I'll be doing more content on that. Emma, watch the course and then be on the list for the next round of content. Right, I'm looking at Instagram. How are you feeling, Kobe? How are you feeling on GRTs? I love GRT. It's one of those that has the real use case. The Google of crypto is what they're trying to become, something along those lines. So very, very bullish on the graph. Lyle, with Visa's announcement, do you think the Binance Smart Chain can still outperform the Ethereum mainnet? I think that's a great question. And I don't know the answer. Will it outperform Ethereum? I could not answer that. I don't know. I'm very bullish on Ethereum, as you know, and I am low to medium bullish on Binance, which means I think it's going to do well. Whether it's going to outperform Ethereum, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. It will depend on, you know, there are projects that are, many projects that are launching on Binance or are already on Ethereum and are building on Binance as well. So that looks really bullish. I think a lot of these projects are going to focus on being able to operate on multiple chains. you know, Binance is, you know, for me, the number two blockchain for application development. And Bitco Learner, would I keep Binance long term till September? Yeah, anything which I talk about as being bullish, I'm talking about it from the perspective of, if I was going to hold it, I'd be holding it till September. That's the strategy. Not looking to trade in and out at all. Just accumulation. For those that have tried to trade in and out of the crypto market, I'm sure you will agree that it is extremely difficult. Kobe, what's your Ethereum price prediction for April? I can't do it. I don't know what it's going to be in April. I've put the Bitcoin prediction out there, and short-term predictions carry far less weight than long-term predictions. Yeah, I've said Bitcoin $92,000 by mid-April. You know, what is that? 50%, just more than 50% from here. If Bitcoin goes up 50% from here, you'd expect Ethereum to do 60, 70% or more. I can't give you an exact number. You'll hold me to it, and it's a losing game. Kate, if fiat dollars collapse, how does crypto protect my money if it is tied to dollars? That's a really good question. And it's not tied to dollars. This is a common misconception. And the longer you continue to be in the crypto game and learn, your perspective will start to shift. When we get into it, you buy your crypto with pounds or dollars, and you look at the price in pounds or dollars every day, and that's how you frame the world. Katya, I'll come to you in a sec. Thank you. But that is not the truth. The truth is that your Bitcoin is priced in Bitcoin. If you own half a Bitcoin, you own half a Bitcoin. Full stop. I know that's the way we've been taught makes that difficult to comprehend, but it's the truth. When fiat collapses, that will be the proof of the pudding that that's how it actually works. Bitcoin can only be priced in Bitcoin because it is the ultimate pristine, as Michael Saylor says, store of value. So it's useless to price it in fiat currency that is depreciating. Focus on how many Bitcoins or how many cryptos you are accumulating. And just work with that mindset. You won't get there straight away because, of course, I know we're not quite there yet in terms of being able to buy all your groceries with Bitcoin. So yes, right now, have both in your minds. Yes, your Bitcoin's going up in value, fantastic. But as we had the announcement today from Visa, when you can do everything in Bitcoin, you will no longer price it in dollars or pounds. You will talk about how many Bitcoins you have. And by the way, you know, don't make that a pressurized situation, because in the future, having half a Bitcoin, let's say, will make you top 1% because you're very, very early. There's not enough to go around. 21 million Bitcoin for 7.5 billion people. So it's just something to think about. That I would also say, if fiat currency collapses, Yeah, well, it's like when currencies collapse. In the past, whoever held the gold became the elites because they held the real assets because the currency became worthless. So in the future, it will be that still. It will be who holds the gold, who holds the land, but it will also be who holds the Bitcoin. And those people become the new elites. Elites have a bad rep, don't they? But imagine if all us lot are able to use our wealth and power to have an amazing impact on the world. Katya, let me unmute you.
Hello.
Hi.
I have a Chainlink question for you. So I know with altcoins were meant to basically take everything out before the crash. With Chainlink, though, I find myself thinking about holding it more often. I know it's hard to say what the future will hold, but in your personal opinion, do you think it could potentially actually vanish as a coin itself in the crash? I mean, obviously I'm not an expert, but I feel like, I mean, it's not a whole load I've got in Chainlink, but I'd be happy to risk riding out of the crash because I just think for the long term, it'll still be valuable.
Yeah, this is a good question. I don't believe the risk is very high at all about Chainlink going to zero. It survived the last crash, so that's a great indicator. Many of these new ones have not been through a crash and a bear market before, so they're like the super high risk. Those that have been around have less risk of going to zero. I do fully expect that they will all experience a very severe correction as they orbit around Bitcoin. So it's just knowing what you're getting yourself in for, which is you're going to see a lot of red across your portfolio. And you're going to be looking towards 2024, 2025. And hopefully, even if you're holding, accumulating during the bear market while everything's down. And then if you have some that you've held for a long time and you're accumulating towards the bottom as well, you're going to get to 2025 and you're going to be free.
Hopefully before that. Thank you.
All right. Sammy, for the insiders list, you recommend different coins to buy into. Wouldn't that be trading in some sense? No, I don't. I only talk for those that are not aware. There's a crypto insiders list. It's just £50 per year. I give altcoin tips just for those that love altcoins. Some people absolutely love altcoins, as I do. But I always do it from that perspective of holding till September, because there are people that, have newsletters or put out videos about how to trade altcoins. You definitely can do it, but it's not what I'm doing. And I know my audience, the vast majority of people in the audience are not trading. I'm trying to make it really, really simple. So if I put something on that list, it's because I think it's going to be much, much higher in September. I do though with them, I say, here's a really good entry, but the entry is still, right, we're holding for 6 months. Emma, do you think we can continue to buy Bitcoin up until September? No, I don't. Well, sorry. Okay. The only time I say yes to that is if you're dollar cost averaging forever. So you're putting in an amount every week or every month up until September, and then October, November, December, and on and on and on. That's called dollar cost averaging. That's a really, really great way of accumulating and becoming super wealthy. So that's strategy B. It's not the one I'm focusing on, but it's really good. If you're doing strategy A, which you're looking to maximize your returns in this cycle, that strategy is, like I've been saying, buy as much as possible early, front load all of your investments. Now I've been saying it for a year, so that you're ready for the parabolic price movement. Because what happens, I would suggest everybody, even if you don't like charts, just go and spend some time looking at 2017 for half an hour, because that will, I talk about it in the course as well, so take the course. But go and look at the 2017 chart, and that's what we're going to see, something similar, which is the final 6 months, the price starts to go parabolic. And we've gone up a lot already, but I'm talking huge moves to the upside, and particularly the last month. We could go from $200,000 to $300,000 in the first 2 weeks of September. Something like that is probably what will happen. That means that we want to buy as early as possible, because it's the vast majority of gains are towards the end, and the closer you get towards the cycle peak, the higher your risk is. Because if you buy at $200,000 and then it goes up $100,000 in 2 weeks and then crashes 50%, you could easily be at a loss on that investment very quickly. So front load it as much as possible. If you're doing option A, but you have money coming in every month, I said under $50,000 Bitcoin is cheap. After that, I won't call it cheap. Where do you stop? Do you stop at $100,000? It's hard for me to say. All I can say is my target at the moment is 296,000. I'll probably be remodeling that to the upside. Maybe it comes out at $350,000. So you just work with that and make a conscious decision. Maybe you have another month, 2 months, but I wouldn't go too close to the peak. And then, if you're getting paid monthly, maybe in June, July, August, September, you just save and be ready for the bear market. That would be a good strategy. Sam, what is the cheapest way of transferring ETH into Uniswap? I don't know what you mean. You don't usually hold anything on Uniswap. You would hold it in a wallet like MetaMask. Yeah, into your MetaMask wallet. The cheapest way. Where are you transferring it from? Coinbase. Well, I don't think you don't have a choice. I don't know what the Coinbase withdrawal fees are, but Coinbase are the ones that are going to charge you, I believe. So it's if you want to withdraw, then you want to withdraw. Oh, you're absolutely right, Sammy. I think that it's cheaper on Coinbase Pro. But other than that, you have to withdraw to the wallet that you want to go to. I don't think you have much option. Bitco Learner. After September, after the crash, will these weekly Zoom calls continue, or will you be out for a year? That's a good question. I was only planning on doing one. And now we're still here. So I don't know the answer. You just got to roll with it and, you know, play it by ear. I'm not gonna desert you as we head up to the peak. Let's put it that way. Even if I move somewhere, then I'll just set up there and keep doing them. Might have to change the time depending on what time zone I'm in. But you know, I'm starting to think about what I do next with all this stuff. So I would really, there was a survey at the end of the course, but if anybody wants to message me or email me with, you know, how I can be even better and add more value, then I'm definitely intrigued. There'll be a 2022 Bitcoin playbook coming in December, for sure. Might have to charge for that one, but you'll all be rich by then. Yeah, Emma. Yeah, hopefully I answered your question. I can't tell you exactly what to do. I can just lay out the landscape. Thank you. Amazing comments. I really appreciate it. It gives me the energy to keep going, and I get a lot from it. Laurie, if I could only put money on one, would it be Ethereum or Chainlink? That situation, it's not a, it doesn't exist. I would put half and half, unless you're gonna come and hold a gun to my head, but no, just I would split it 50-50. You don't need to pick one. In altcoins, it's good to diversify a little bit. Doesn't mean you need to go crazy. Ross James, XRP price end of April. I think is that a joke? Stay away from XRP, please. Please stay away from XRP, everybody. Little Move, thoughts on Harmony One? I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I've only seen the price go parabolic recently. I never just look at stuff because the price has gone up loads. I only start researching if for some reason I've noticed that it's a very cool project, doing interesting things, having a really powerful team, something like that. Emma, would you prioritize Polkadot investment over Chainlink? About the same. So that's 33% Polkadot, 33% Ethereum, 33% Chainlink. Joshua, where can I get the insiders list for alts? That is on my Instagram bio. I'll also, I'll put it in the description as well. Michael, as countries start launching digital currencies, do you think that will be bullish or bearish for the existing crypto ecosystem? That will be extremely bullish for crypto. When they talk about digital currencies, central bank digital currencies, don't be fooled by them. It's still fiat currency. Most of fiat currency is digital already. So it's not much different in that respect. The way it's different is just the scary element, is that they'll be able to track and trace you and cut you out of the system and all that stuff, but let's not get into that. But it's just fiat currency. For the existing crypto ecosystem, it's very bullish because all of those people, like grandma and granddad, who are used to paper currency, fiat currency, who would never have got into crypto before, and now they have their central bank app on their phone with their digital pounds. It's not a stretch from there to have their Coinbase app on their phone with their Bitcoin. At the moment, it's a stretch. Thank you for those amazing words. How do you recognize a good altcoin? I'm always checking white papers and looking for info. Oh, Cal, I get it now. I get it. Thank you. See you later, mate. How do you recognize a good altcoin? There's no right or wrong way. And, you know, for me, a good altcoin, as I always say, is good fundamentals rather than the price blasting off. Because if you invest in a project with good fundamentals, you'll do really well. Anyway, for me, my best sources are Twitter. I curated my Twitter feed to follow interesting people, which can start the process. I like Chico Crypto. There's very few YouTubers that I watch, but Chico Crypto is not like, hey, this altcoin's blasting off, get in now and make 10x. He focuses on research, and he researches the white papers and the fundamentals and stuff. So I get a lot of ideas from that, and then make my own decisions and research out the back of that. They would be my two ways. Of course, on Twitter you can curate your feeds however you like, and I would just start. Maybe, I don't know if you're on Twitter or not. I went to Twitter very late, but I now get so much value from it. If you follow the right people, of course. Jordan, whether I've heard of not Decentraland, because that's MANA, and you've put DEC, Decentra and Fetch. I've never heard of them, I'm afraid, so I don't know. Shalinor, do you trade Bitcoin lightly leveraged? I do trade Bitcoin, like I invest Bitcoin lightly leveraged, which means borrowing money to have more Bitcoin. Kobe, how do you feel about DOT and Kusama? Still bullish? Obviously, Kusama has been an incredible performer and one that I talked about ages ago and has done really, really well. And I'm still very, very bullish on both. Amazing fundamentals, amazing team, loads of good news still to come. If you're interested, look into Parachain auctions. Follow a guy called Dan Risa on Twitter and look at the threads that he puts together about Polkadot and Kusama. And I think it's hard to not be extremely bullish on both. Pool side, am I too late to be buying Kusama? I think Kusama will be a lot higher in September than it is now. It's gone up a lot. Kusama is now, where is it? The number 24 crypto. When I first started talking about it, it was like number 200 or something. So it's done really well. I did say in the last Ask Me Anything that I could see Kusama being just outside the top 10 altcoin. And if that proves to be true, then it's still got a lot of growth considering the whole market is going to grow as well. So I don't think it's too late. When can we meet you in person so we can hug you? I think I'm gonna do a world tour for all the people that have offered me drinks and hugs after the cycle peak, if we manage it well. If it doesn't work out, you won't want to hug me. So let's wait and see how we get on with that. But hopefully, wouldn't it be amazing to have a party with everybody? I don't know, just something that I've been thinking about. I need somebody to arrange it though. Kachi is going to arrange it. That's fantastic. I've got a big garden. I ask about how many because I thought it was a good idea back in single digits. Okay, there's something really important there. Single digits doesn't mean anything. So I'm looking at this list here and let me find a good example. Okay, here's an example. Binance coin is $274, but Chainlink and Polkadot are $28 and $34. Does that mean Binance coin is 10 times better than them? No, it doesn't matter. The price of the token is completely irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant that Bitcoin is $55,000. It's completely irrelevant that Ethereum is $1,800. What you're looking for is how much that goes up by September in percentage terms. The price is only reflective of how many tokens that are in circulation. What you need to focus on is market cap. So if you go to CoinGecko and go market cap, you'll see the list: Bitcoin 1, Ethereum 2, Binance 3. On the right hand side, market cap, and that is the order. Bitcoin market cap is 1 trillion, Ethereum 200 million, Binance 40 million. They're not ordered by token price. They're ordered by market cap. That is how much the project is worth, how much the company is worth. I know Bitcoin is not a company, but the reason why I say that is you can also think about it in terms of the stock market. Now it's how much the company overall is worth, not whether Tesla is $500 share or $100 share. It's, do you think their market cap is going to go up over the next 6 months if we're talking about crypto? You'll see some coins with like that are, you know, their token is 10 cents, but they might have a massive market cap. It just means that they have 100 billion tokens in circulation. What about Cardano? Very bearish on Cardano. It's not doing anything. Their mainnet went live, but there's nothing on it. There's no smart contracts. It's still all hype. They were talking about doing all of this by 2017. It's now 2021. They have the best marketing out there, and that's why it's done really, really well. And I am quite bearish on Cardano compared to the rest. My girlfriend is a great artist and I'm trying to get her into the NFT world. Yeah, that's an amazing idea. And just starting as early as possible, because it's, you know, it's all experimental. So if you can get in early and just figure out how it all works. I haven't minted NFTs, so I can't really comment on that, but there's so much information out there that you just need to go deep and get started. I see OpenSea, is very popular for all that stuff. I've been recommending Rarible as a platform for a while as well, just in terms of their token, because they have a lot of strong influencers. Emma, so if a coin has a low price and a high market cap, would it be worth buying? If by the price you mean the price of the token, it's still irrelevant. It's all about the market cap. So, so you wouldn't, if you were just new to crypto, Bitcoin $57,000, you go, oh, it's really expensive. It doesn't matter. It's about whether that $50,000 is going to become $300,000 or not. And that's not to do with it being $300,000. It's to do with the percentage increase, which would be something like 400 or 500%. Getting into that habit is really, really good. So if there's a coin that you're looking at, go on CoinGecko, find it on the list and see what's around it as well. Right, if it's number 40, do I think it can be better than all of these and become number 20? You know, that would be really bullish, because of course the whole market is going to increase in value as well. It's all about, I hope I explained that well. Percentage increases, you know, if something goes from 100 to 200, that's exactly the same as it going to 50,000 to 100,000. One went up 50,000 and one went up 100, but they both went up 100%. So token price doesn't matter. Aurora, would you recommend selling any Cardano? I can't tell you what to do. Unfortunately, I can just, you know, tell you if I'm bullish or bearish on the project. And I am very bearish on Cardano for all of those reasons. And it's the number 5 crypto, and it's worth 38 billion. Do I think Cardano is worth 38 billion? I don't think Cardano is worth 1 billion, to be honest. But, you know, I'm not a fan. There are some people out there that are big fans. That being said, I wasn't a fan when it was 5 billion, and it's gone up loads, and loads of people have made loads of money out of it, which is amazing. I'm really happy for them. So there will be a lot of projects that are shite that go up a lot over the next 6 months. For me, I'd personally rather hold the ones that I think are good. That's all. Would you recommend investing a minimum amount in Bitcoin or Ethereum? There's no minimum amount. Talk about it in the course. You know, as much as you're comfortable having in crypto is your minimum amount. A lot of people don't get in because they think you have to have £10,000. You start with 100. Just getting off zero is a massive step, and one that I would highly recommend everybody. And when am I coming back to Chiang Mai? Well, I was talking about that earlier, maybe in the not too distant future. I think that's it. Great session, everybody. Ethereum still up 8.5%, Chainlink's up 6%, Bitcoin's up just under 4%. All looks lovely. Thank you all for joining. Really enjoy these sessions. Catcher's gonna start thinking about the party. And yeah, I'll be catching up with you all in various forms over the next week. I'm back here in a week. So thank you. Take care.